Many have always wondered what Brock Lesnar's sons would look like in the cutthroat world of MMA. The answer comes with the overwhelming force of a titan with every blow. Frédéric Vosgröne. Known to his fans as the Neanderthal or the wild Viking of mixed martial arts.
But as you pointed out,
This undefeated fighter has emerged as a destructive force in the Octagon. Not only is he undefeated, but his fighting style is so ferocious that it leaves everyone wondering if he really has the blood of the iconic Brock running through his veins. Get ready to watch this savage Viking continue to crush everyone on his path to greatness. But before continuing, subscribe right now so you don't find Frédéric in your room. Frédéric Vosgröne was born in Germany, where his beginnings in martial arts left an indelible mark on his training. From a young age, those first steps in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu took place in a competitive environment that helped him hone precise technique and a combative mindset, fundamentals that propelled him toward greatness. Initially motivated by the fascination sparked by UFC video games, where grappling and submission techniques looked incredibly appealing. From the beginning, he knew he wanted to delve into this martial art and began training with the same tenacity that would later characterize him in the Octagon. He soon moved to London to hone his technique and expand his horizons in a high-level competitive environment. Discipline, perseverance, and an unwavering desire to improve led him to earn his black belt at the age of 23. In the Octagon, Vosgröne has distinguished himself with his ability to finish fights with lethal moves and relentless submissions. This BJJ foundation not only forged his impeccable grappling technique, but also cemented the warrior mentality that drives him today in his MMA career. From his early days on the mat, Frédéric Vosgröne became an expert in the perfect fusion of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Olympic wrestling. Armed with these tools, Vosgröne made it to the 2018 ABJJF British National Open, a tournament where Europe's best competitors squared off in intense battles for grappling supremacy. He faced the formidable Dominique Bell, a representative of Atos Jiu-Jitsu. The fight began with Vosgröne applying pressure from the outset, utilizing his powerful takedown to establish control on top. Bell, known for his agility and guard defense, attempted to create angles to counter with sweeps and leg attacks. Vosgröne demonstrated impressive defense, utilizing his stance and balance to defuse submission attempts. Ultimately, the match ended with Vosgröne imposing his control and pressure, securing a victory. By 2019, Frédéric Vosgröne was already a respected name on the European Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu circuit, with an aggressive style and relentless pressure that made him stand out in the super heavy black belt category. At the London Fall Open, he faced Felipe Barcia, a technical competitor with a dangerous guard and impressive adaptability. From the outset, Vosgröne imposed his pace with a clear strategy, absolute control from the top. With an explosive entry, he managed to take Barcia down and establish suffocating pressure. Barcia attempted to regain position with quick movements from guard, but Vosgröne neutralized each attempt with surgical precision. As the fight progressed, Vosgröne executed flawless transitions, going from half guard to side control and ultimately securing a dominant position. With constant pressure and strategic attacks, he managed to maintain control until the end, securing victory in the category final. When Frédéric Vosgröne stepped onto the mat at the 2019 Pan Nogi Championship, he wasn't just another competitor. He was a predator in pursuit of his prey. Facing him was Khalil Fadlallah, a technical opponent with a solid defense, but nothing could prepare him for the storm that was about to unfold. From the first moment, Vosgröne imposed his rhythm with a ruthless strategy. He attacked with relentless pressure, closing spaces and nullifying any attempt by Fadlallah.
Right, shoot
To establish his game, with an explosive entry, he took the fight to the ground, where his absolute dominance became evident. Every transition was calculated, every move executed with surgical precision.
Scott J.R. 360 Jiu-Jitsu.
Half guard, side control, constant pressure, until he finally trapped Fadlallah in a perfect katagatame. His opponent's resilience was admirable, but the torque was unstoppable. Within seconds, submission was inevitable.
Where you from Mata Jiu-Jitsu, please where you
After his dominant victory over Khalil Fadlallah, Frédéric Vosgröne advanced in the 2019 Pan Nogi Championship, facing Kenji Matsushima Sete, a technical opponent with solid defense. From the outset, Vosgröne imposed his pace with an explosive takedown, taking the fight to the ground and establishing control from the top.
Joseph Pro from Team Real USA. Yo Blanco.
Matsushima Sete attempted to regain position with quick movements from his guard. But Vosgröne neutralized each attempt with surgical precision. Vosgröne opened with his usual strategy, a relentless takedown and suffocating pressure from the top. Matsushima Sete attempted to create space from his guard, but each attempt was shut down with surgical precision. The hunt was relentless, and Vosgröne knew exactly where to aim. With an explosive change of position, he trapped his opponent's leg and locked in a devastating heel hook. In a matter of seconds, the twisting became too much, and submission became the only way out. The mat shook with another brutal execution from Vosgröne.
Joseph Pro from Team Real.
For Frédéric Vosgröne, the 2022 Dallas Open, Nogi represented a new opportunity to demonstrate his evolution in grappling. With a history of relentless pressure and surgical transitions, he faced Joshua Guerra, an opponent with solid defense and dangerous guard play. When the battle began, Joshua Guerra knew he was facing one of the most dangerous grapplers on the circuit. But nothing prepared him for what was to come. Frédéric Vosgröne wasted no time and took the fight to the ground with an explosive takedown. From there, the pressure was suffocating. Guerra tried to stay calm, but Vosgröne already had a plan in place. Within seconds, Vosgröne trapped his opponent's leg with surgical precision and executed a brutal heel hook. The torque was immediate. Guerra tried to resist, but the hold was perfectly sealed. In the blink of an eye, the pain became unbearable, and submission was inevitable. When Vosgröne attacks the legs, there is no escape. After years of competing on the Brazilian jiu-jitsu and wrestling circuits, Frédéric Vosgröne left an indelible mark on the world of grappling. His technical mastery and aggressiveness led him to win high-level tournaments, cementing his reputation as a submission and position control specialist. After accumulating vast experience in grappling and demonstrating his dominance in the most demanding tournaments, Vosgröne made the decision to make the leap to MMA. With a solid foundation in wrestling and BJJ, he knew his advantage on the ground would be key, but he also understood that he must develop an efficient striking system to complement his arsenal. He opted for a simple yet effective approach, focusing on basic striking, structured defense, and quick transitions into the clinch. Frédéric Vosgröne made his long-awaited MMA debut at Levels Fight League 1, facing Denmark's Erhan Okuroglu.
Party in the back, but I'm sure it's going to be business.
From the first second, Vosgröne imposed his rhythm with brutal pressure, closing the distance and looking for the takedown like a predator stalking its prey.
But who will be able to employ their strategy? Vosgröne looking for the...
Yeah, not surprising. Vosgröne wants this one to the mat. See if he...
Okuroglu attempted to defend himself, but couldn't avoid being dragged into dangerous territory.
On the legs, but Erhan did a good job of getting back to his feet, but didn't get dumped back down here.
The ground, where Vosgröne is an absolute master. With flawless transitions, the German went from side control to dominance.
And because some fights, some things can go your way, and if you want to get the fight, and you can't get there, you're in big trouble. But it does.
Vosgröne now ends up on top of Vosgröne.
And in the second round, he executed an arm triangle choke with surgical precision. In just 1 minute and 6 seconds, his opponent had no choice but to tap out. A clear message in his debut. His grappling isn't just effective, it's lethal. He didn't come to participate, he came to dominate.
But he's going to want to step over. Erhan follows him, he's aware of what he's trying to do.
But as you pointed out, the cage is there.
The MMA world just welcomed a real challenge. After his debut at Levels Fight League 1, where he dominated with his grappling but felt he could do even better, Frédéric Vosgröne took his preparation with absolute seriousness. He knew his ground control was lethal, but he wanted to refine his striking and improve his transition between stand-up combat and grappling. For his second match at We Love MMA 74 Stuttgart, he faced the dangerous striker Chris Fischer. The clash began, and Fischer tried to impose his striking, but he only had an instant.
Im Käfig. Jetzt geht's los hier zwischen den beiden. Aber Fischer gleich mit dem Freund.
Vosgröne, with implacable coolness, closed the distance like lightning, dragged his opponent to the ground with a fluidity only masters possess, and caught his leg with a vicious heel hook.
Und Fischer gleich mit den Fäusten aktiv. Beide haben natürlich schon Erfahrung. Und Vosgröne gleich. Legt Wert drauf, wird auf den Boden.
Fischer resisted for a brief second, but the torque was unstoppable. 16 seconds were enough to seal his fate. With this victory, Vosgröne sent a clear message. There's no escape when she's down. She doesn't need minutes to figure out her opponent, just seconds.
Aber ist nun erstmal in der Position, dass gucken muss, wie kriegt er den das ist vorbei.
Every fight is a proof that her rise is inevitable. After his lightning victory at We Love MMA 74 Stuttgart, where he destroyed Chris Fischer in just 16 seconds, Frédéric Vosgröne knew it was time to test himself against even more dangerous opponents. as Frédéric Vosgröne entered the cage at Octagon 69. The crowd knew they were about to witness something special. Facing him was Jorik Montagnac, a technical fighter with solid defense and a warrior's mentality. But none of that mattered as Vosgröne imposed his pace with relentless pressure. From the first round, Vosgröne displayed his aggressive style, throwing himself at Montagnac with ferocious determination. Montagnac tried to keep his distance, landing punches while backing away, but
das explodieren kann. Oh, und da explodiert schon.
An einem Kampf gegen den Ex-Bundesliga-Boxer Chris Fischer den Heel-Hook geholt hat und seinen Gegner zum Abklopfen gezwungen hat. Also sobald der Typ dich greift, hast du ein Problem.
Aber wir sehen hier jetzt schon.
Vosgröne literally threw himself at his legs until he finally caught him. Once on the ground, the German did what he does best: absolute control. With precise transitions and constant pressure, she took the fight to her territory.
Vosgröne, der Neandertaler, wie sich nennt. Oh, jetzt kriegt den Takedown. Sich her.
Und Vosgröne will Bein von Montagnac an. Achtung, jetzt macht es gut hier, schiebt sich raus.
In the second round, she sealed her victory with an arm triangle choke, forcing Montagnac to tap out at 3 minutes and 36 seconds. No matter how tough her opponent, Vosgröne finds a way to dominate. Each fight is proof that her rise is inevitable.
Und jetzt hat die Maus. Und ich will zu arbeiten. Und wer die Kraft von Montagnac gespürt hat.
Das so aus, ich war gerade auch ein bisschen verunsichert. Und ich glaube, Montagnac ist schlau.
From his early forays into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to his devastating MMA debut, Frédéric Vosgröne has built a career based on absolute dominance. Every tournament he's won, every submission executed with surgical precision, has been a testament to his evolution as a competitor. His style isn't just technical, it's a statement of power. In BJJ, he specialized in relentless pressure and leg attacks, making his mark at events like the Pan Nogi Championship and the Dallas Open. When he decided to enter the world of MMA, he fine-tuned his approach, adopting a simple yet efficient striking style, and elevating his grappling to lethal levels. He doesn't seek unnecessary exchanges. He doesn't play for points. He hunts. He submits. He dominates. If you'd like to see more of his fights, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on upcoming stories and fights. See you in the next video.